President Trump is doing some cleanup down under, offering his praise for, of all places, Australia, following the disclosure of a tense phone call he had with that country's leader, Malcolm Turnbull.
We had one instance in Australia. I have a lot of respect for Australia. I love Australia as a country.
At issue, the president says, is a deal cut by the Obama administration to take in political refugees currently held in detention centers off Australia, who fled from some of the predominantly Muslim nations now barred from sending people to the U.S. under the Trump administration's new travel ban. Refugees the president incorrectly calls illegal immigrants.
We had a problem where, for whatever reason, President Obama said that they were going to take probably well over 1,000 illegal immigrants who were in prisons, and they were going to bring them and take them into this country. And I just said, why?
But sources tell CNN the president was so upset with the prime minister that he abruptly ended their call. And sources say the president had another testy phone conversation with Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto, in which he offered to send U.S. troops to Mexico to help go after, quote, tough hombres south of the border. A source familiar with the conversations told CNN the president's harsh language made the faces of White House staffers turn white. Not to worry, says the president.
Believe me, when you hear about the tough phone calls I'm having, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. They're tough. We have to be tough. It's time we're going to be a little tough, folks. We're taken advantage of by every nation in the world virtually. It's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen anymore.
Arguably the most destructive weapon of all time is up for auction. No, not a nuclear bomb or an assault rifle. It's Adolf Hitler's personal telephone. Hitler's telephone, described as his mobile device of destruction, used to send millions to their death around the world, is set to be sold at auction here in the United States. According to the item's catalog description for Alexander Historical Auctions in Maryland, the phone was gifted to Hitler by Russian officers. It is believed to have been used by the Nazi leader to issue most of his commands during the last 2 years of World War II. A product of Siemens, the black Bakelite phone was painted a deep red and engraved with Hitler's name in a swastika. The listing recounts how days after the end of the war, British officer Ralph Rainer recovered the phone from Hitler's bunker. Very likely the first non-Soviet victor to enter the city, Rainer went to the chancellery where Russian officers offered him a tour. On entering Hitler's private quarters, Rainer was first offered Eva Braun's telephone, but politely declined, claiming his favorite color was red. His Russian hosts were pleased to hand him a red telephone, Hitler's telephone. His son Ranulf Rainer inherited the phone after his father's death in 1977. The listing notes the phone's uniquely horrific history. It would be impossible to find a more impactful relic than the primary tool used by the most evil man in history to annihilate countless innocents, lay waste to hundreds of thousands of square miles of land, and in the end, destroy his own country and people, with effects that still menacingly reverberate today. The auction house estimates Hitler's phone of death and destruction will be sold for $200,000 to $300,000. For Fox News, I'm Rob Demetrius.
He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him.